On to question 4. QQT, qualitative quantitative translation. This is the smallest amount of points, but it's still important. Find your points here, especially for part A. Part A, you're going to make a selection or make a drawing, maybe sketch a graph to fit a certain situation. You can do that. You can handle that. Probably going to get 1 point just for getting that right. Make sure you do it correct. Point 2, make sure you are referencing the correct physics principle. You don't have to name it exactly, but it helps to know Bernoulli's equation or Torricelli's theorem or conservation of energy. Know what those equations are and what they mean. So point 2 is your justification for whatever you did in the first AI question. Point 3, having a correct justification. 2 to 3 sentences is plenty. Just like Kevin says, why waste time? Say a lot word when few word do tricks. Notice that point 2 is a justification point, but it's not necessarily the correct justification. So there's some forgiveness in there. You could potentially earn point 2. Remember, as usual, do not say anything physically incorrect. Part B, we're going to be doing a derivation. So again, just like we did with question 1, multi-step derivation using your correct equation, principle, or law. Point 2 is typically substituting in correct values. For example, if we're doing a rotational inertia situation and it's a rod with a block attached to it, we need the rotational inertia of the rod plus the rotational inertia of the block about the axis of rotation. So for complex items or objects that are rotating, make sure we're including all of the rotational inertia. The rotational inertia for the rod would probably be given to you, but the block wouldn't be. It's up to you to know what the rotational inertia for any mass about a point is. It's mr squared. I equals mr squared for any mass rotating about some point. Different shapes have different ones. But that's true for a mass or a ring. Also, maybe you'll be given coefficients of friction, static, kinetic, something like that, and you have to decide which one of those is the correct one to use. Point 3, getting that correct answer with your correct terms. So remember, the last step of your derivation is to make sure you are answering the question. Should Ft be labeled Ft, or should it be capital T? Those types of things. Are you allowed to have R in your final answer, or should it be called A? Just watch that and make sure we're checking and making those final changes as needed. Part C, saying yes or no. Part B matches with Part A, or answering the question, essentially. You should be justifying here. And when you are justifying, you want to use proportional language or mention where the variable is in the equation. So if you have x equals t squared over r, then you should be saying, as you increase t, because it's in the numerator, x will also increase. Or as you increase r, because it's in the denominator, x will decrease. Reference where the variable is, where you're making a change in the equation. Finally, the last point for all of your FRQ. Correct logical justification. You can still earn if part A or B was wrong. Just make sure you're using consistent physics. Also, if you find out that your argument over here for part C saying one thing, and you realize you made a mistake in part A or B, maybe you've got time. Maybe you can fix it. That's it. Good luck.